The Obamas are in deep trouble. Once untouchable, Barack and Michelle are now entangled in credible allegations, linking them to disturbing events at Sean Diddy Combs' notorious freak-off parties. Events clouded in secrecy, but now facing an unprecedented public reckoning. Worst of all for the Obamas, it's on film. The feds have it all, and the Democrats no longer control the levers of power in DC. Our source? A whistleblower who worked behind the scenes at countless of these parties, witnessing and even participating in some of the most degrading secret acts of the entertainment elite. Now she's ready to step into the light, prepared to testify and expose the A-list figures tied to what she describes as Luciferian rituals. According to our whistleblower, the list of child victims is disturbingly long, because Diddy was enlisted by powerful elites to corrupt countless celebrities and politicians by turning them on to paedophilia, often deceptively at first, until they became complicit and compromised. The details in this report are unsettling, but they shed light on why the entertainment industry has become what it is today, and why so many household names are acting very strangely right now. Let's get right into it. Diddy's operation centered around using sex, drugs, and blackmail to manipulate people, turning straight men gay and turning everybody, including women, onto paedophilia. Meet Adria English. She got her break in the entertainment industry in the 90s as a dancer in music videos and live performances, including at Sean Diddy Combs' notorious white parties.
So because he's working for Lucifer, his goal is to take souls to hell. So that's why straight men, he wanted to turn them gay. You know, even if a gay man was gay, he wanted to make him be a pedophile and be with a minor. His thing was to take the soul. So that's why after a certain amount of time, he would make an announcement like, you better go on home because, you know, the party really about to crack now. And all of a sudden, everybody's demon would come out. And that's on God. Like, have you ever gotten, like, so faded or drunk where your body is doing stuff, but in the morning you have literally no recollection? Like, if it ain't from your homeboy showing you it, like, man, I recorded you, nigga. If it wasn't for him showing you, you would swear up and down you didn't do that shit. But then when he show you the video, you like, what the... I jumped in the pool. I don't even know how to swim, my nigga. What? Like, I don't even remember that bitch. Like, what?
Diddy is currently behind bars in Brooklyn, held in one of the most notorious prisons in the US, the same facility where Jeffrey Epstein was held before he supposedly killed himself. But in the late 90s and early 2000s, when Adria English knew him, Diddy was hosting parties, where the high-profile figures we grew up with in the public eye, including pop stars and presidents, were caught in film, engaged in the most degrading and horrific acts. With her boyfriend at the time, the model Anthony Gallo, English gained access to this hidden world, and was quickly stunned at what was happening beneath the surface.
But then, because I was a dancer, I'm also in the regular go-go club scene, and I ran into Tamiko Thomas, who ended up being, I call her a handler, one of Diddy's handlers, wranglers, and she approached me with opportunity to help me and Anthony out. If I dance at Diddy's white parties, Anthony can go ahead and book the campaign. I agreed to dance at the white parties. Anthony booked the Sean John campaign. He was everywhere. He was on billboards, buses, bus stops, cabs, in the magazine, all at the same damn time.
Industry insiders like Denzel Washington and the late Prince have warned about dark influences of the Illuminati, sharing cautionary tales for young stars who were considering selling their souls to the devil. Adria English quickly found out that they were not exaggerating.
I was very sheltered, naive. My parents were from LA, and so they raised me in the suburbs because they didn't want me to experience anything they saw growing up in the hood. And so when I went to Long Beach State and they put me in the co-ed dorms, to the left were the athletes and to the right were the girls who were stripping to get through school because they were all from LA, Compton, and Long Beach. I'm from Chino, California, a little nerdy girl with valedictorian. So when they were stripping to get through college, I kicked it with them. And that's how I ended up with Jake Steed. He saw the innocence and the naiveness in me. He got me to do their movies, and then when Diddy found out about it, they used that against me, and then he viewed me as somebody that was sexually exploited, worthy, and yeah. And he played on my heart. It's called coercion of the heart. When I told him that I rap and I sang, and he said I was dope, and he said he was going to bring me and I had a girl group out, like I'm the Beyonce of my group. They even told you that I was the dopest one. And it's called coercion of the heart. And he played on the fact that he knew I liked to rap, sing, and perform. And that's why he would bring me back year after year saying, you're getting closer, like initiation, you're getting closer. But it never happened. But he kept making me, sexually perform while he was wheeling and dealing and, getting jewelry from Jacob the jeweler, cutting a deal with this person, recording me and him over there so he can extort that person out of woo-woo. We all didn't know, but he had a plan the whole time. And that's why he made people sign NDAs that said, you can't talk about what we went through until 20 years after I died. But I never signed that. Aubrey O'Day and Danity Kane and them, they got hit with that. I was already out the game. I was done from 2004 to 2009. By the time he was running around with them, I was already,
These vile crimes go all the way to the top, with a certain president and his so-called wife involved in gang raping drugged models, child stars and various underage children. And it was all captured on film and meticulously filed away as blackmail material by the host of the party.
The Fed said, well, allegedly, I'm not going to say, someone said that when they did the raid, I'm on them tapes and there's multiple A-list celebrities running a train on me, including certain people that are presidential. Once I found that out, I've been living my life for the last 20 years not knowing that had even happened to me. And now because they found out that I know that I'm on them tapes with them doing that to me, these are people that have smiled in my face since then. I had no idea that. But if there's a certain way the tape is going to come out and there's a certain way that it never will. You got to stay tuned.
Remember when we said Diddy's objective was to turn everybody into a paedophile? We've got the tragic details about what really happened to Justin Bieber after this important word from our sponsor. Brace yourself for some disgraceful information about J-Lo, the same woman who was recently campaigning for Kamala Harris and describing Donald Trump as a man of bad character.
Imagine everybody blacked out though. It doesn't matter if you a celebrity or, that's why J-Lo left the country. He had her sticking bottles and stuff up in my homegirl. She was only 11 years old. She the girl that they put on the private jet. They her with the jelly beans. They put on the private jet. They took her to the studio in New York and then had the nerve to dress her up in a D&G sweater, do her hair, put makeup on her, and take a picture like a trophy. She only 11 years old in that picture, and that's not allegedly.
J-Lo was sexually involved with an 11-year-old. It's all on tape. And she was far from the only one. Everybody running with Diddy, everybody, was introduced to paedophilia, and it's all captured on film. They're all compromised.
And then that's the same girl that in the magazine is laying on the table butt naked with fruit and food and stuff off of her, and we all eating off of her. I sucked a strawberry off her. She 14 years old laying on that table. She had a body like a grown woman. You don't think anybody's looking at that thinking that's a kid laying there. You're assuming it's a grown woman. So he made everybody be with a minor, against your will, and he recording the shit.
English also shared the reason behind Denzel Washington's abrupt exit from Diddy's party. Please note that this content is graphic and unsettling. However, discussing these details is important because it sheds light on the level of degradation and moral decay necessary to run with the entertainment industry elite.
Same girl needed to do a number 2 on stage. She performed and she told him, I need to go off stage, I need you to bathroom. He told her no. She ended up shitting on stage. It was a wet. Went everywhere, and Denzel Washington grabbed up his wife, mobbed up to Diddy, and was like, man, you don't respect nobody, and had to run up out there. That's the incident they're talking about with Denzel Washington had to run up out of there. He didn't know she was 14. It was just the fact that she shit on stage and in front of everybody. And then Diddy took her to a room and beat her ass because she shit on stage. Then he would only give her water baths and not let her wash with soap. I'm going to say allegedly because she's still Jane Doe right now. I'm going to say allegedly. You know what I mean? It's allegedly. But she wants a DNA on 2 of his kids because they took 2 babies out of her. They kept her locked up and they had her babies at the house. The 2 babies they took out of her stomach. That's not allegedly.
Terrified, traumatized, destroyed. These were some of the words Justin Bieber used to describe his experience of growing up in the entertainment industry, surrounded by sharks, predators, and open Luciferians.
Everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right,
What
okay.
number?
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, you know, telling me they love me and, you know, just turn their back on you in a second. People take for granted encounters, and I don't wish that upon anybody.
Friends of Justin Bieber warn that he's deeply distressed because the most traumatic experiences of his life were captured on camera and are now being circulated on video for profit, without his consent and at his expense. Unfortunately, when it comes to Bieber, the worst is yet to come out. English recalls a traumatic experience, describing how Bieber was restrained, unable to move, and raped by Diddy, his 2 sons, and several other men.
The same girl I was telling you about, that the Jane Doe, the 11 and 14-year-olds, the same girl he made strap Justin Bieber down, and she had to strap him down while Diddy and 2 of his sons took turns, and she had to sit there and watch, and Justin Bieber was crying and begging to be let up, and when she went to unloosen him, Diddy socked her in the face in front of Justin Bieber. So we trying to get with Justin because he would corroborate. Allegedly, Justin, get at me, Justin. We be confidential. We ain't got to tell the press, nobody. Holler at me, Justin. I'll put y'all together. She was there, you was there. I was already out of it. She told me that story.
We have been warning everybody that the ages of Diddy's accusers is going to keep getting lower, and the list of child victims connected to Diddy will continue to grow. The global elite, along with influential figures in the entertainment industry, are determined to foster a culture that normalizes paedophilia. And it's important to remember, Diddy's network was just one of many operating under the radar.
Bore 2 kids. I'm not going to say which one she believe are hers, that he's been raising. You know what? On a side note, where is the white girl? Where's the white girl that he adopted? Where is she? They said, oh, the twins are staying with one of Kamora's friends, or Kim Porter, whoever. The son's been in New York and back and forth to LA. Where's the white girl that they was online bragging and proud that they saved her life and everything? Where is the white girl?
English describes the entertainment industry as eerily similar to Rosemary's Baby, the 1960s Roman Polanski film in which an ambitious actor sacrifices his wife to Satan, allowing her to be impregnated by dark forces in exchange for career success.
And that's what's going on within the Hollywood and the music industry, and that's why, you know, people are leaving the country and everything, because that's what they do, is practice in satanic and demonic activity. That's why when they're blessed with the highest status, the most money, the best cars, the best food, the best everything, they choose to spend their time on a daily basis doing evil.
We need your help dismantling a 9,000-year-old paedophile cult. Here at The People's Voice, we are determined to continue exposing the elite, but we need your help.